Wonderful job today, Carson. I would like to say that you are picking up music wonderfully. I know that we really spent a good amount of time on the drums, and I really enjoyed doing that with you. But there are so many other instruments, and what I wanted to do is make sure that you knew the C major on the ukulele and the F major on the ukulele. Now, I know that you know that the ukulele has 4 strings, but we're going to go over it really quick. The top string is called the G string. The string right next to it is called the C string. More importantly, it's the middle C that we read from the sheet music, which I'll show you again in this video in just a minute. G, C, E, and A. The chord that you and I played had our first finger, second finger, and third finger played down on the first fret, the second fret, and then we left our finger on the third fret of the string furthest away from our nose, which is G, C, E, A string. So this note, when we press down real hard and play all the other strings, gives us a C major. Yeah! So that's one kind of chord that we do. The reason why we talked about that is when we have a C major, we've got a C, a E, and a G. If I were to say there are no sharps and flats in the key of C, which you know, we'd say C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and then C again. Well, I don't need my 6 and my 7. I've got my C, which is my 1, my D, which is our 2. We have the E, which is the major third, the F, which is the 4, and the G. If we get rid of the 2 and 4, we're left with a C, E, and a G. Well, this is a G note, this is a C note, this is an E note, so that's a C major, just with those 3 strings. And when I add this upper C note, I get C major. So this C major is a great starting chord. If you have a ukulele or you see one out or somebody's playing, say, hey, I know a C major. Have fun with that. The second chord we learned is on the first fret, first finger on the E string, which is this string, makes an F, and then our second finger goes on the high G string, closest to our nose on the second fret. This makes a F major. These are 2 wonderful chords that we can play with. And if we go slow, they're even more fun. C. Then we go to an F major. We hold this out for just a little bit, and then a C. That brings us to another idea. G, C, E, and A. So when we know that those are the notes on our ukulele, the reason why I showed you on this piece of paper that you know that this is the treble clef. The time signature is in 3/4, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4 measures. Now there is a little repeat here, which means we do this twice. 4 times 2 is 8, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But I know that you know that there are 3 beats per measure, and the quarter note gets the beat. Well, there's a quarter note, there's a quarter note, and there's a quarter note rest. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So what we would see when we play this C note, this D note, and a rest, we would find the C on the piano, and we would have C, D, rest, D, E, rest, E, F, rest, F, G, rest, C, D, lift our finger, D, E, lift our finger, E, F, lift our finger, F, G, lift our finger. The reason why is we have C to D. So, as you know, we would count it quarter, quarter, rest, quarter, quarter, rest, quarter, quarter, rest, quarter, quarter, rest, or with the names. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's all the beats in the measure. Or we could say 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I hope that made a lot of sense.
as we've spent a good amount of time on this board learning how to count. This is what your C major chord looks like as a diagram for the ukulele. These are the 3 open notes and the C note. That's the F major. And then this one, we never got to it, but this one that is like a Pac-Man is the G major. I guess I could put that in the video as well so we know it. And remember, when we count these measures, like here, which is 5/4, we could count a measure of 3 and then a measure of 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Both are acceptable. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. So I visualize a star that has 5 points, but you don't have to visualize the star as we talked about to get these notes. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, I'm horrible at drawing stars as well, Carson. Sorry. Maybe I should figure out how to draw a star for us. I'm not good at drawing either. Don't sweat it. Oh, there it is. I figured it out. Okay. And then there's one goes down there and then there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You could also visualize it just as a clock. Noon, 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and it keeps going like that. So when we visualize something like 4/4, we can visualize it as a square. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or we can just visualize it as a circle. I would start at noon, 3, 6, and 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Either way, if you drew the square sideways, that's exactly what you would get. You would get a parallelogram. So what we did today, like almost every other day, we just counted out a bunch of these rhythms. And I'm very glad that you're able to count the rhythms with me. And it makes a lot of sense because we're starting to play the drums a lot more. I really enjoyed playing the ukulele with you today. I enjoyed playing almost all these instruments with you today. And I just wanted you to know that that final chord that we never really played right there was called the G major. First finger on the 2nd fret on the C string, the thickest string. 2nd finger all the way up top. And then our 3rd finger wraps around for the note right in between on the E string. That's the G major. C major, F major, and a G major. These chords are just for future reference in case you pick up an ukulele and you want to play it. Other than that, Carson, I really enjoyed seeing you again this week. Remember, nothing goes away. If you have something that you wanted to do, you could go back to any of these other music videos and watch them. Clap along with the episodes and just go over a couple things in music and present them again. Next week, we're going to play the drums again. We're going to do a little bit more sight reading, okay? It's wonderful seeing you, and I'll see you again next week. Aloha.